Hey YouTube, Justin Cherish here. Just pulled my F250 into the garage. Figured I'd replace the steering gearbox on it. I bought me a redhead steering gearbox. Everybody talks really good about them, and figured I'd give it a shot. I don't want to do it twice, so I better just go ahead and buy the better parts. Everybody says that they're much tighter. They actually fully go through the whole gearbox, replace it with better bearings. Pretty much all above. Anyways, so I'll go ahead and get started. And what I did was I pulled it in my garage, which barely fit. I got a little bit of a lift on it. But I took the seat belt, put it around the steering wheel, keep it from turning much. And it can't really turn a whole lot because I pulled it pretty tight, so I figured that was a pretty good idea to do that. Put me a wheel chalk behind not this wheel, but the other wheel. Keep it from rolling. Got my little shop light. I've watched a couple other people's videos, and they say you don't have to take out the battery and all that, which I can pretty much see straight down there to it to get everything. As you see, there it is. So I think I'm going to take this wheel off to get to those inner and outer lines, pressure lines that goes to the very top. They say they're pretty easily to get to with the wheel off and the spin the wheel out. I don't really know. I can see everything, but probably have to take this inner fender wheel out. So I might do that instead of taking all that other stuff up here on top. And then once I take all that off, I'll take another video and go through the steps. All right. All right, everyone. Got the gearbox out. Figure I'd catch you up on all the stuff that I've done. Instead of me removing the inner fender wheel, because that was a bit of a pain just looking at it, I went ahead and took out my air intake, which was undone that back clamp back there, and took my battery out, undone them bolts, and everything just fell out. If you do have one of these S&B intakes, if not, you just got the regular air filter. Just take the whole system there out, and that's pretty easy to do. And then just what I done was I went from the top, undone my lines first, that way I could let it bleed. That was a 16 millimeter, and they unscrewed perfectly, and they were actually stuck off inside the gearbox, so I actually had to pull and jerk them on a little bit, and they finally pulled out. So got those out. Then I went underneath, took they call it a pickle fork. I call it like a ball joint fork, or whatever you want to call it, tie rod fork, whatever. You just pry this in between your tie rod and your pitman on here. You give it a couple of knocks, it'll fall out. That's after you pull the nut and the cotter pin out. I'm hoping you know to do that first, of course, if you have looked at it. And then right here on top is a nut. I had problems to get my 32 millimeter on there. I actually had to take a hammer and just tap it on. I don't know if it's just the dirt and debris or paint or what it is that's built up on there, but I finally got that off. And then for your steering shaft, which is right here, I have a plastic boot, which is that right there. It's actually hooked onto a line to hold it down onto the joint. So you just kind of pull it back off the line, and it clips right off. Slide it all the way up. Then you got your steering shaft that goes into your gearbox, which is that part right there that you see the splines. It's got little flat spots on it. And that's where your bolt screws down and holds it down on there. So that was a 13 millimeter. So once you take that 13 millimeter bolt out, you have to take it all the way out, lay that bolt to the side. And once you take that out, your steering shaft will just slide right back. Now if you got a rusted truck, whatever, you might have to take a hammer or maybe some PB blaster or something like that, just kind of break everything loose, and it'll slide all the way back. Slide it up out of the way. Like I said, my first video, I took a seat belt, put it on my steering wheel, snugged it tightly to where the steering wheel can't turn. That way when you put your new gearbox in, it should slide right on perfectly. This is my redhead box. As you can see, it's got the red cover. I'm about to slide it back in place and pretty much do the reverse install. I did buy me a power steering pump. I'm thinking about go ahead and replacing that. That seems pretty simple to do. So, and I got it from O'Reilly's for like 60 bucks. So why not? Why not go ahead and put a pump on there? It's pretty easy. It comes with a new reservoir and everything. It's rebuilt. So I'm gonna go ahead and slide that on. But that's pretty much it. The gearbox is fairly easy to change. If you guys have any questions or anything, just let me know. Y'all have a good one.